We went in the studio, Chick Corea, Wallace Roney, Pino, Manolo Bedriña, John and myself. Who knows if that's ever gonna come out? You don't understand the hypnotic approach. There's nothing more incredible than that. You know, as soon as you break out of it, try to do something fancy, play one too many notes, you break the spell. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Steve Jordan is one of the most legendary drummers and producers in music history. Steve has played with music icons across genres from the Rolling Stones to John Mayer, the Blues Brothers, Chuck Berry, the Saturday Night Live Band, and many more. Known for his groove, feel, and deep musicality, Steve has helped define the sound of countless classic recordings, and he continues to do so to this day. Please welcome Steve Jordan to Drumeo. Well, to all of you out there watching, you're in for a treat. We have the legendary Steve Jordan in the Drumeo studio finally. Steve, it's great to have you here, man.
It's fun to be here once I found the place.
We're saying you saw a few moose along the way?
Some moose, a couple of snow-capped mountains.
And a lot of traffic. Well, this is going to be a really fun episode. We got to see Steve play at BC Place last night with the Rolling Stones, which was just incredible to see you up there with the band.
It was fun.
A few other things before we get into the lesson. We do this kind of stuff on YouTube all the time with drummers that we bring in, just like Steve. And we also have a full Drumeo platform where we'll teach you how to play drums if you've never played before, or if you've played for years, we'll help you take your playing to the next level. And there's a link down below. You can check out Drumeo free for 7 days. And Steve, you also wanted to talk quickly about the Jazz Foundation of America.
The Jazz Foundation of America is an organization that is very dear to my heart. Its goal is to take care of musicians in need, whether you need pro bono health care, rent paid, mortgages taken care of, or just someone to talk to. That's what we do. We help musicians, saving one musician at a time, and in turn, saving the music.
So, a few weeks ago, actually, it was probably about a week ago, we jumped on a call with you, and we decided we were going to do this.
Right.
And we wanted to do kind of a career retrospective of some of the favorite pieces you've written and recorded, and kind of walk through your pretty diverse career you've had. And I believe we're going to be covering most, if not all, of the tracks that you mentioned on that call. So this is going to be a pretty special stream. And Steve, I know you have amazing stories about all of these. So.
Well, you know, it's kind of like, I mentioned a few things. I mean, obviously you can't mention everything because I don't even remember it all. And it's really quite weird because I used to remember everything, but now the fact of the matter is, and you know, knock on wood, there have been so many things that I talk about one thing and then I remember another thing and, you know, that kind of thing. I'm a lucky person, you know. You know. And I remember seeing this thing when I was a kid, when I was playing in my first band, Mystic Funk.
Nice.
In the Bronx. And we were playing a veterans kind of hall or whatever. We were playing for some vets. And I remember seeing a sign that said, luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And that's always stuck with me. And I remember talking to my dad about that. And, you know, because people would say, well, man, you're so lucky. And I was like, well, yeah. But that could have been bad luck, too, because if I hadn't been prepared, then that would have been my last shot. You know what I mean? So I always have that in the back of my mind, you know, just, you know, if you have, be ready, you know, because you never know. And that's the advice I give to everyone. Like, be prepared, do your homework, pay attention to detail. Try to learn as much as you can all the time, because when the opportunity arises, you got to be ready.
That's awesome advice. So the first song we want to start with is one you mentioned about 45 minutes ago in the control room. Neil Young, 1986. You worked on a song called Pressure.
Right. Was recording an album with Neil Young called Landing on Water. Danny Korchmar was producing along with Neil, and Nico Bolas was the engineer. And it was just three of us playing, Neil, Cooch, and myself. There were a few days where Neil and I were living in a house together in Malibu. And one night from the studio, when we left the studio, we got back, we were sitting up, and I picked up an acoustic guitar and started playing some chord changes. And Neil actually liked what I was doing, and I was really tired, and I went to bed and woke up the next morning to get prepared to go back to the studio, and he had been up all night, and he wrote like 10 verses on the song, and that was pretty amazing. And then I was like, wow, I just wrote a song with Neil Young. That's incredible.
Crazy.
And then we went and recorded it.
Yeah.
And it's one of my favorite songs, really, that I've ever played on. And not because I co-wrote it, just because it had that angst, you know, like we were feeling, you know, at the time.
Awesome. Well, let's load it up and
All right,
let's hear a bit of it.
Yeah, let's check it out.
This
There's
That's
some
what I
angst in
remember
there,
of it. I
man.
don't know how close I got, but
What a
yeah, it
great
was a
tune.
wild experience, you know.
Yeah.
We were using the synclavier at the time, and the synclavier is kind of a synthesizer that you pre-record stuff in.
Yeah.
So the bass line that Danny Korchmar played was pre-programmed in, and we played along to that. And the vocal, that's me,
Oh, really?
and so the and all that,
Yeah.
that's me, and we played that,
Unreal.
and then I sang backgrounds with Neil.
Yeah. Amazing. Very cool how you can hear, like you mentioned, one thing you mentioned earlier today was you don't think of drum parts, you think of what does the song actually require from you as the drummer.
Right.
And even hearing like those extra backbeats you're throwing in just add to that kind of angst.
Yes.
Or it
Yeah.
feels like it's leading into that next bar, but it gives you that feeling.
Right, yeah,
So-
yeah, it just felt like that's what had to happen.
Yeah.
And you can feel, you know, it sounds like pressure.
Yeah. For sure.
You know,
yeah,
the
as you
whole
get to
thing.
that last chorus
Yeah.
on the crash and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's jump to the same year. You mentioned a song by the Pretenders called Don't Get Me Wrong.
Right.
Which you said it was another one of your favorites.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite songs. Thanks to Bill Graham, I was playing Live Aid, and he asked me to come. Bill Graham had asked me to come down to Philadelphia to play on the finale, We Are the World, and help put it together.
Yeah.
By the time we got to We Are the World, it had gotten late, and some people who were supposed to sing on it had left, but there were some artists still there. So he asked me to help recruit some singers for We Are the World. So Chrissy Hynde was still there, so I asked Chrissy if she would sing a couple of lines. That's kind of how I met Chrissy. And she was coming to New York. We made plans to get together and just hang out, you know, and whatever, because she said she was gonna just hang out there for a while, maybe do some writing and stuff. I think she was searching, you know, because James Honeyman Scott and Pete Farndon had died, which was really tragic because, you know, that's one of the greatest bands, in my opinion, ever. And so she was in New York, no better place to be than in New York. And I think her husband at the time was the leader of Simple Minds, and he was making a record with Jimmy Iovine. They were working on a song, and so one thing led to the other. It was all around happening at the same time, and so we started playing together and working on some stuff and everything. And she started, working on a new record, and Jimmy was the producer. I remember being in the studio, and we were playing, and wasn't going as swimmingly as it could. So, and this is how I became a producer, you know, prior to that. But, you know, when you're a drummer on a session and it's not going well, the first person they look at is the drummer. So, you know, so I learned that years ago. So I figured out that it was up to me to figure out what was going wrong on the session to salvage a session. So, and that's what I did here. It wasn't sounding like the Pretenders. Now, I'm an actual Pretenders fan, so I know what the Pretenders sound like. And one of the key ingredients of the Pretenders is Chrissy's guitar, which is the same thing like in the Verbs, like in our group with Megan. Like if you don't hear Megan's guitar, it doesn't sound like the band.
Yeah.
So the same thing with the Pretenders. If you don't hear, as great as James Honeyman Scott was, if you don't hear the song played on the guitar by Chrissy, you don't have the song.
Yeah.
In my view, it's kind of like one of those things that was happening back then and sometimes can still happen where, you know, they didn't turn the girl up in the headphones, you know. So I was like, well, you don't have Chrissy Hynde up loud enough in the headphones to hear the song.
Yeah.
And as soon as they turned her up in the phones, because, you know, this is before we had individual mixes.
Yeah.
So it was controlled by the engineer. So once they turned her up, then you could hear the song, and then you could hear the sound of the band. Then it was easy for me to play the song because the song was there. Before the song, you know, she was playing the song, but we weren't hearing what she was doing.
Well, let's hear a bit of this. And Yeah, this is Don't Get Me Wrong.
that since 1985.
I feel like that's going to be a trend.
Yeah. So that bit in the middle, the breakdown. So I was playing that just to get a groove before we did the take. Mm-hmm. And Jimmy Iovine, he heard me doing that. He said, "What's that? What's that? What's that?" And I said, "Well, I'm just trying to, get the feel for everybody so we can get a thing." He said, "You got to play that somewhere. You got to play that somewhere." So that ended up being in the breakdown. That was his big move.
Love it.
Yeah.
So jumping ahead, Chuck Berry. So you were in the Hail Hail Rock and Roll, I guess it was a documentary. So how did that all come to be with you being involved in that project?
Well, Keith Richards was asked to do this thing, and we had just worked on a remake of Jumpin' Jack Flash with Aretha Franklin, or maybe it went the other way around. I can't remember. They both happened simultaneously, so I can't remember what came first, the chicken or the egg.
Yeah.
But at any rate, it was around the same period of time.
Yeah.
the Keith's thing is he wanted Johnny Johnson. He went to Chuck. He said, "Do you know where Johnny Johnson is?" Johnny Johnson is the piano player who played on the original stuff. And in fact, Chuck had actually joined Johnny Johnson's band and kind of like took it over, back in the day. That's how it all came to pass. And then he kind of went into obscurity, ended up driving a bus or something. Keith, being a student of the music, that was his big thing. He wanted to reunite Johnny and Chuck. And Chuck wasn't against it, so they found Johnny, and which was a great thing.
Yeah.
And then, the original bass on that stuff is Willie Dixon. And there are only a few people that could actually play that style of bass. And I didn't know Larry Taylor at the time, but the person I knew who could do it, who had that style down and more, was the one and only Joey Spompanano from NRBQ. So Keith didn't know who, Joey was. So NRBQ was playing at the Bottom Line in New York, which they played frequently. And I took Keith over to the Bottom Line because actually Keith only lived around the block from the Bottom Line at the time. So I brought him over to the club, and he heard Joey play, and he couldn't believe it. So we got Joey in there. And we rounded the band out with Robert Cray and Chuck Leavell and Bobby Keys. And that's what happened. And then we had special guests.
So the song we've got is Sweet Little 16 from the soundtrack.
Truth be known, I don't really like the cymbals I chose at the period of time. I was experimenting with these smaller A Zildjian cymbals. These are really old ones that were small in diameter at the time. In retrospect, I should have used a larger ride cymbal like Fred did to make it wash more. But the drums were right. But the cymbal, the ride cymbal wasn't right. Anyway, so that annoys me.
So you got a bigger ride today.
Yeah, I got a bigger.
You can make it right.
Yeah.
Nice. Let's try this one out.
All right.
They're really rocking in Boston, in Pittsburgh, PA, deep in the heart of Texas, around the Frisco Bay, all over St. Louis, way down in New Orleans. Everybody wants to dance with sweet little 16. She's just got to have about a $500,000. And be sweet 16, get back in class again. 'Cause they'll be rocking on bandstand, Philadelphia, PA, deep in the heart of Texas, around the Frisco Bay, all over St. Louis, down in New Orleans. Everybody wants to dance with. Louder! Everybody wants to dance with. Thank you, lover.
Yeah, much better ride cymbal.
You've made it right.
Yeah.
Such a cool feel on the ride.
Well, see, that's the essence of rock and roll right there. You see, what Fred is doing is he's going back, he's swinging. And if you check out Charlie Watts playing, he's trying to do the same thing, basically. You know, it's like, you know, like the 4 on the floor.
Yeah.
And, you know, so even when you're doing, that's why, you know,
Yeah.
see, it's all connected.
It's that straight and swing, and
Yes,
it's all
the push and pull of the whole thing.
Yeah. We're gonna keep trucking along here. This is great, man.
Cool.
I feel like we're getting like a holistic picture of all these different pieces of
Right.
Your playing and your history. So Keith Richards, the next tune we have is Big Enough from Talk Is Cheap.
Right.
So you played with Keith, or through Keith got the gig with Chuck Berry. So how did this end up with you playing on his solo records and stuff?
What happened was, so the Late Night Band, which was actually the nucleus of the band, was the 24th Street Band, was a band that I was in with Hiram Bullock and Willie and Clifford Carter. And then as our band was disbanding, Paul Schaefer was putting together a band for Late Night with David Letterman and recruited me, and I thought, well, we could have the band, and we were already a band.
Yeah.
So it was like, yeah, let's hit it. We could hit the ground running. We had played at the very first Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and Keith inducted Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry was the first person inducted. Keith was the first presenter. It was at the Waldorf Astoria. We were playing, we did a show on a plane. So Late Night, we did a show on a plane. We flew from New York to Miami.
Yeah.
And then when we got to Miami, the band jumped off of the plane and got on a Learjet and flew back to New York to do the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And so we did this overture that Paul had put together. We were the house band, so we played the finale, you know, where everybody gets up and jams and everything, which is usually a disaster, you know, and everything.
As you would expect.
But if he has his guitar, he'll sound great. And everything will be fine. So that's what happened. But anyway, we're playing. And then when Chuck and Keith got together, deciding on who was going to be in the band, Keith actually wanted Charlie to play because they grew up, you know, listening to Chuck Berry, you know, and he, you know, so, you know, Keith's first choice was to have Charlie play.
Yeah.
And didn't know, we were still getting to know each other. We didn't really know each other musically. You know, he didn't know me musically like that well. And they were listening to there was one camera, archival camera, and they have my head in the shot. They just from the neck down, they had me playing, but Chuck heard me play.
Yeah.
And so when Keith was saying, I wanted Charlie and I want this and that, Chuck said, well, who's that drummer? I like that drummer. I want that drummer.
Yeah.
So then Keith had to come back to me and ask me to do it.
The rest is history.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But what's even funnier was then when we went to meet Keith down in Jamaica, Chuck flew down to meet Keith and I in Jamaica because I was down there with Keith at his house in Jamaica. It was just going to be 2 guitars and drums,
Yeah.
no bass or anything. So at the time, I had like dreadlocks and everything.
Yeah.
Chuck was looking around. He's waiting for the drummer, right? Then Keith says, "This is the drummer. This is the guy you want." And Chuck was like, "I didn't ask for no reggae drummer," because my head wasn't in the shot, so he didn't even know what I looked like.
Oh, man.
He didn't know I had dreadlocks at the time. So that was really hysterical. And then we played and everything was fine. But, at first it was like,
Yeah. Who is this guy?
who is this guy? I'd give anything to play like Carlton Barrett. But yeah, so that's how that all came about, and that period of time from Dirty Work, the Aretha thing, Chuck Berry, it all, and then that ended up, once we did that string of stuff, then it was like, well, we were working together.
Yeah.
And the Stones weren't going in the studio because Mick was doing his thing, so Keith wanted to keep going, so then we started hanging out and just writing and playing, and one thing led to another. It was a very organic musical relationship, you know. That's how it all came about. So when we started writing, then we was like, okay, it was just the 2 of us in the studio writing, and we were like overdubbing and everything, and then it was okay, let's go in and step it up and do some more stuff, and we had a track, and then we had Bootsy overdub on it,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Well, let's hear a bit of Big Enough from Talk is Cheap.
Stretch to the limit, locked in the hole, hung out to dry, still on the road. Right at the front door, right out the back, wall in your face and a gun in your back. No time for weeping, baby, no need for tears. Let no one tell you, honey, how you should grow. Big enough. Big enough, yeah.
Something like that.
It's also been a while probably since you played that.
I haven't played that since 1990.
Wow.
I have no idea what.
I love too how, again, you talk a lot about the swing in all the stuff that you play and
Right.
how it's coming out in all these different projects.
Yeah.
But we're starting to see like your identity come through in all of these
Right.
different pieces of music.
Yeah.
Super cool. So moving ahead, 1992, David Sanborn, Snakes, we have up next.
I've been listening to it a lot lately because my dear friend David passed away a couple of months ago. It's been real tragic because I spoke to him about, I would say 4 months ago, 4 or 5 months ago. So it was a shocker to all of us, really. And so I was doing a lot of listening to that particular record because that record was very, it's a classic, really. And Marcus Miller did a great job on that record, producing that record, and had a lot of fun with Ricky Peterson. And, you know, there were a lot of great players on it. The late, great Don Elias was on. A lot of great people on that record, from Randy Brecker to Spaceman Patterson, Dean Brown, and Chris Bruce, and just a lot of great players on it. The list goes on and on. And the great Joe Furla engineered it. He was one of the greatest engineers of all time. I think even Hiram played on. Yeah, Hiram was on it, of course. Hiram Bullock was on the record. There's one track in particular that I really love that that a lot of people kind of dug or something. A lot of drummers like called Snakes. I mean, the bass line is very similar to Rocksteady, the way that Chuck Rainey played on that. I think I believe that's what Marcus was channeling when he did the track. And I was channeling more of like kind of a combination of all the James Brown drummers to have this beat. The trick is to just hold that beat.
Yeah.
Not to get, people, they get impatient, they get all...
Try to get too fancy.
Yeah, the whole point of it, like if you don't understand James Brown, like if somebody says basically like, you know, like he'll hold a groove ad nauseum or something to that effect, you don't understand the hypnotic approach.
Yeah.
The thing is to hold that thing, like Jimmy Nolan holding that guitar part. You know, Fred Thomas or Bernard Odom holding that bass line. You know, Bootsy and Catfish hold that line and create this hypnosis.
Yeah.
There's nothing more incredible than that.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as you break out of it, try to do something fancy, play one too many notes, you break the spell. Spell is broken.
Yeah.
The whole thing is to create that thing. And if you can't get into it, you shouldn't be playing it. You know, so anyway, I love that track. So so with the passing of David, I was playing that track over and over and over again. And besides the fact that David plays some incredible stuff on that, it's just so, he was just so incredible, you know. I mean, you talk about a person that really made a mark musically. One note from David Sanborn, you knew it was David Sanborn. And that's what you want. That's what you try to create, you know.
Yeah.
Like one hit, you know who it is. You know, one note, one backbeat, you know what oh yeah, you know who that is.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to hear you play this. This is Snakes, David Sanborn. What a song.
Yeah,
What
it's
a
badass.
groove through the whole thing, man.
It's badass, man.
I think when people think of your playing, I think you hear it all the time, but I think people associate your playing with the word groove. And like, what does that mean to you? What does the word groove mean?
Well, it's a euphoric thing. Like, I haven't played that song. I don't know when we recorded that, but when it started to feel right, you know, it gets orgasmic, you know.
You have so many years of experience and experience playing with so many different people.
Right.
But what's the key to getting there?
Selflessness. You surrender to the music. You take your ego out. You take your destructive ego out. You put your constructive ego in, meaning that you want to execute to the fullest of your ability to get to the next level, to have everybody go to that next level, whatever it takes to get to that level of euphoria.
I want to jump ahead a little bit. Mess About It, Bettye LaVette.
Yes.
So we're going to jump forward in the timeline, come back to some John Mayer, some Stones. But tell us a little bit about this tune. John Batiste and Ray Parker Jr. are also on this one, I believe.
That's right, actually. So this is on the JayVee Records label, which is a label that Megan and I have. The J is for Jordan, the V is for Voss. The idea of our label, it's a one-off label, meaning that we only sign a person to one record, no options. It was really came about because we knew a lot of people, and I'd worked with several people who were in between deals with major labels or mid-level labels. And while they were waiting to either ink a new deal or trying to figure out whether their label was going to pick up the option, there'd be a year, maybe a year and a half where they're dying to make music and they don't have an outlet to make the music, but to play live, but they couldn't record. They might want to record. So, you know, it's like, okay, let's start a label, because we had our label anyway, because we put our records out on the label.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the point is that we wanted to make music that we wanted to make and not have some A&R person who was 2 years old try to tell us what to do, you know, like, are you kidding?
Yeah.
So we just put out our stuff, and so we decided to expand and do this. So our first foray with another artist outside of the Verbs was Robert Cray, and I had an idea of putting Robert Cray with High Rhythm. High Rhythm is the rhythm section that played on all the Al Green records, and O.V. Wright, and you know, and all the stuff that, you know, basically Willie Mitchell's band.
Yeah.
And so we did that, and it was very successful, Grammy nominated, blah, blah, blah. And then Mixmaster Mike and I did a record called Beat Odyssey 2020, and it was just he and I cutting live, boom, 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 and a very explosive kind of situation. And then we started, which is going to be released next year, a Tony Joe White album, which is now going to be posthumous, obviously. But we started work on it before he passed.
Yeah.
And Megan and I had done 2 records with Bettye LaVette on Verve, and they didn't pick up her option for the 3rd record because when COVID hit, she couldn't go out and perform, and that kind of dictated the kind of numbers she was getting record-wise. So since she couldn't perform live, the numbers weren't there for her, you know, the bean counters. They said, well, she didn't sell enough records, so they released her. And so Megan was like, we should sign Bettye. So I said, okay, cool. And we are very fortunate to have an incredible distributor, MRI Distribution, Missy Colazzo, Robert John, in New York. And so they were totally into it. I think it's some of the best work that I've ever been involved with, you know, and she was incredible. I think it's probably her best record, and we are very, very proud of it. And of course, it was nominated for a Grammy as well, and it's just and you know, everybody came through. We had Pino Palladino on bass, Chris Bruce and Larry Campbell on guitars, the great Leon Pendarvis on keys. And then we had some special guests to join us. John Mayer played on a tune. Ray Parker played on a couple of tunes. We had the great Reverend Charles Hodges from High Rhythm play organ on a couple tunes. The one and only John Batiste played on a tune. Corea, Electric Lady. I mean, you can't really go wrong.
Yeah.
Studio A, you know.
It's the perfect recipe.
Yeah, you know.
Nice. Well, let's hear a bit of
And this is Mess About It is, excuse me. Mess About It is very James Brown inspired. Need I say more, you know? It's like,
yeah, man. Let's do one more tune. I want to hear the Robert Cray one.
Yeah.
We've got You Must Believe in Yourself.
Yeah. That would require a different snare drum.
Oh boy. What does that require?
More of a high rhythm sound. This is a drum here that I'm glad you have one of these because this is the drum. Funny that because I just bought another one of these. 6-lug WFL. These were made for schools. And I got my first one from a school, actually.
Yeah.
And I used this drum on John Mayer tune, I Don't Trust Myself. This is the very same drum I used. That's bad.
The snare's a vibe, too.
That's bad. Woo!
Dang.
Right on.
What a great tune,
I haven't
too.
heard that song in a long time.
We're taking
Yeah.
you back. This is all nostalgia, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
It's awesome.
This kind of stuff you have to warm up before you play. I
Yeah.
haven't even heard this stuff. It's like, oh, yeah.
Oh, it's great.
Okay.
Well, let's jump to some John Mayer stuff. This will prove my age, but I think this is the first time I heard you on record. Was
Wow.
Continuum.
What are you, 2 years old?
Maybe. There you go. So I want to start with, I think, one of the drum grooves that people talk about all the time, Waiting on the World to Change. Starts with the drums and just kind of sets the stage for that whole record. So tell me a little bit about that session and that tune.
Well, we were in the studio. John had a thing. You know, I think it's pretty common knowledge that we kind of fashioned it after a Curtis Mayfield type of vibe. Kind of like Chicago. Morris Jennings is one of my favorite drummers. He played on some of that stuff, and so I was thinking of him. I played something that you wouldn't normally hear those days on, on the radio. First thing you wouldn't hear is a song played with the ride cymbal all the way through. That's the first thing you wouldn't hear. So I was like, okay,
Let's start there.
let's start
Check.
there. And then it's not a 2 and 4,
Yeah.
so we start there. And there were a couple of people, even at the label, they will remain nameless, that were like, "What's he playing?" You know.
Number 3.
Hey, boys and girls, ladies and gents. This isn't the exact beat that I played on the record, but it evolved over the years playing live with John. Here we go.
Me and all my friends, we're all misunderstood. They say we stand for nothing
You're a genius.
Oh, yeah, right.
What a great groove.
It was so exciting. You know, when you cut a track and you know that there's something special in there, and John and I were just so excited about it. You know, he's so brilliant, you know, and that whole period of time, he wrote a lot of great stuff, and there was a lot of material. There's stuff in the can from then
Yeah,
that would be hits right now.
Yeah.
That's just like dormant, you know, in storage.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Yeah, maybe, you know, if he gets the feeling, you know. Well, you know, great artists, they like to keep moving forward. They don't get really nostalgic. I learned that from Sonny Rollins, you know, like when I was playing with Sonny and I would say, yeah, can we play Ten of Madness? He was like, you know, no, I did that in 1957 with John Coltrane. I'm not doing that. You know? He played it one time for me. He satisfied me one time.
And that was it.
And that was it. I think John, you know, just wants to keep going forward, you know. He knows he's got a lot of stuff. We went in the studio several years ago. We got some stuff with Chick Corea, Wallace Roney, Pino, Manolo Bedriña, John and myself. Who knows if that's ever going to come out, you know.
I sure hope it does.
But there's some bad stuff in there.
Chick Corea and John Mayer.
Oh, man.
Wow.
It was unbelievable. And Wallace Roney and Manolo, you know, I mean, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's insane. Before we jump to the Stones, let's do one more track from that record. What's your favorite, Gravity or Vultures?
Well, let's do Vultures because the story behind Vultures is like when we're doing a trio, which was kind of like a spontaneous thing.
Yeah.
And we're trying to think of songs to play, and Pino and I were hanging out with Megan, and she said, why don't you do something like Take Me to the River, Al Green, Take Me to the River.
Yeah.
John was more familiar with the Talking Heads version of Take Me to the River. So we were like, no, let's, you know, so we started jamming on Take Me to the River kind of thing, and we got into this other kind of groove, and then John came up with this guitar lick while we were playing this groove, and then we just kind of recorded it on a DAT or something, and he took it home and then wrote Vultures over it. The only thing similar to Take Me to the River is actually the tempo, but it inspired, the feel kind of inspired this thing.
Yeah.
You know, and this was played on a similar drum to this.
You got a towel or a...
No, I'll just put the phone. There you go.
Dangerous territory.
Which is my favorite beat, which is like, I think even years ago, Will Lee told me that was his favorite beat, because, you know, Will Lee plays drums as well.
Yeah.
And it's just like the best beat. I tell people, even before Billie Jean, you know, like I was playing that beat way before, you know.
Yeah.
But that's very similar to that, you know, it's like, and Duga played on Billie Jean, but it's a very similar kind of thing, very simple. 1 and 3, 2 and 4, eighths, boom.
Yeah.
Pocket. Pocket, pocket, pocket. A lot of people can't do that. They can't, they don't have the patience.
How did they find me here? What do they want from me? All of these vultures hiding right outside my door. I hear them whispering, they're trying to ride it out. They've never gone this long without a kill before.
So that's very Al Jackson, Howard Grimes inspired. those are the two drummers that are the identity of the Memphis sound, and especially the high record sound.
Yeah.
So that's all Willie Mitchell. That's the whole Willie Mitchell approach.
What a perfect groove.
Yeah, I mean I just kind of gleaned from all the genius work that was done prior to my existence. I just been listening to stuff my whole life, and it just,
I think that's a common thread we're seeing. You're mentioning Fred Below.
Oh, I can list
Earl Palmer
8 million drummers. I mean, no, don't get me started with that, because that's like an 18-week episode.
We'd all be
I
here
have
for
so
it.
many influences.
Yeah, it's cool to hear those bits and pieces coming out, even in the slightest.
Yeah, no. I mean, we haven't even touched on Benny Benjamin or Uriel Jones or anything. I mean, don't like.
For the next episode.
Pistol Allen or
Legends.
Yeah.
So let's jump ahead. 2021, you started playing with the Rolling Stones, and I was doing some digging before this, and in Keith's book, he recalls Charlie saying that if Keith ever wanted to work with another drummer, Charlie said that Steve Jordan is your guy. What does that feel like to be playing with that band, that catalog of music, and honoring Charlie?
You can't really think too much about it, or else you wouldn't be able to do it. I'm doing it for my friend, which was Charlie, and I'm also, the guys in the band are friends. And I would be upset if I wasn't doing it. If somebody else was doing it, I'd be very upset.
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
So, you know what I mean? Because I feel like I know the music.
Yeah.
And I also know how Keith breathes. And I don't think there are other drummers who have played with him. I mean, Keith, obviously. And Keith is very open to playing with a lot of people. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not like he can't play with other people, because he has and he does. But I think that Charlie and I had an understanding of Keith is very special. And I also play. See, the thing is, I played with all of them individually.
Yeah.
I played with Ronnie individually, and I played with Mick individually. In fact, I worked with Mick first, actually, individually. I played on a track called "Ruthless People," which was a title track to the movie with Danny DeVito, and that's the first time I worked with Mick solo. And Dave Stewart was the producer on that, and that was right the day I left the Letterman show.
Yeah.
I got a call actually at NBC. Can you get over to the studio? I was like, okay, making the right move here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's go. So there's that. And when I worked with them in '85 during Dirty Work, during the pre-production, there's no such thing as pre-production with them really, because they're recording everything.
Yeah.
So but I did work with them, and he wanted me to play. And I said, no, I'm not going to play. I'll play along with you. I'll help you play a little percussion, a little hi-hat, maybe a little bass drum. But, he actually wanted me to play the kit while I said, no, I'm not going to do that. As a fan, I would be very upset with that guy.
Yeah.
It'd be very opportunistic, kind of not cool. Now, it's not like he was the only drummer. I played on stuff, like I said, Jimmy Miller played on stuff, but he was the producer.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, either Jimmy Miller, Keith had an idea, Jimmy was around, Charlie wasn't around.
Distracted.
Or Jimmy may have heard something and Charlie would say, well, why don't you play it? Like that kind of thing, And then in the case of It's Only Rock and Roll, that's Kenny Jones and Willie Weeks, Ronnie cut that track, and then the guys came afterwards and overdubbed on it. But so that's what happened there. But in the case of Dirty Work, I just said, no, I'm not going to play. But I'll play along with you. We'll play together. We'll do stuff.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
So off the new record, Hackney Diamonds, you said your favorite song that you played on was Dreamy Skies.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because it was a kind of a thing where we were alone. It was just a band. And it was very organic. And it was a real Rolling Stones moment. Like I was like, oh, this is Rolling Stones. Okay.
Yeah.
And it blew my mind, I was like, wow, the Rolling Stones just cut a track. Wow, you know, it was unbelievable.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, I was like, wow, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I got to take a break from it all, 'cause the wind and the wilderness call, and I just need some peace from the storms. I got to take a break from it all, and I got to take a break for a while. Well, there ain't another human for 100 miles. I hate being enclosed by the walls, and I got to take a break from it all. I'll be dancing on diamonds, I'll be skating on grass, I'll be chopping up wood, I'll be splitting glass. An old damn radio is all that I've got. It just plays Hank Williams and some bad honky-tonk, 'cause I got to take a break from it all.
And, you know, I had other stuff. I had little percussion on the hi-hat. I had a tambourine on the floor tom.
Yeah.
You know, I had some other stuff going on. Very Jim Keltner-like,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
With some little trinkets and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Basically, I was like the percussion section on it.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily a thing, so yeah. So I can't totally recreate it, but that's the idea. That's the feel.
Yeah.
And
I feel like a lot of people might think that your favorite song on the record is something that's more straight ahead, but I love that that's the tune that.
oh
was
yeah,
your
no,
favorites to
because
record.
that was a moment. I mean, that was most of that was live. Then when we got to L.A., Mick had written a new bridge, so we punched in and did the bridge.
Yeah.
And but up to that point where I played, that was all live.
Yeah.
Keith was playing the bass. I love the way he plays bass. Mick was playing acoustic guitar, you know.
Yeah.
All that slide stuff was live. Woody playing live.
Nice.
Some of the best playing he's ever done. You know?
Yeah.
It was amazing. When it was happening, I was like, oh my goodness, this is incredible, you know.
One other song off the new record you mentioned was Bite My Head Off. You had said you wanted to work with Paul McCartney since you were a kid, and that was the first time it happened?
8 years old, actually.
Okay. So what was that like, playing with Paul?
It was amazing. We had so much fun. And he had fun because he didn't have to think about anything but playing the bass. It was great to play a raucous type of song because it's really, it's a Mick song. It's a punk song, really. So he could just get loose on it, you know.
Yeah. Well, let's hear a bit of Bite My Head Off the new Stones record. There's a bit of a vibe change from Dreamy Skies. That's great, man. There's 2 final songs Steve is going to perform, but once again, if you feel inspired to get behind the drums and learn how to play this instrument, we have everything you need to get started on the new Musora app. We have real teachers to guide you step by step. You can track your progress, and you'll join over 100,000 students improving on their instrument every single day. Also, all the links for the Jazz Foundation of America are listed down in the description, so you can go learn more on their website. Next up, Steve is going to play one of his favorite tracks he recorded with the Verbs. That's a tough groove.
Yes, it is. I think we played it even faster when we did it live.
Unreal.
Which I don't even know how we did that. I mean, I'm like, what?
A lot of caffeine.
I don't know.
And Steve, thank you so much for being here. This has been a huge honor. We've wanted you here for years, and you left us with like a 2-hour stream going through your whole history behind the kit.
It's not even the whole thing, but it's a good start.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. You guys are great. I love the dedication you guys are showing to the instrument. I want to support it.
Love it, man. Well, you're always welcome back anytime you find yourself in the middle of
Yeah,
nowhere.
in the middle of nowhere. Well, the next time I'm on a moose and I'm in the neighborhood,
you let us know.
I'll come by.
So we're going to close out with a song that I had no idea you played on. But you brought this up, so you're all in for a treat.
Oh, Lord.
You played drums on Escape, the Piña Colada song.
Yeah, so when the song when Rupert Holmes, when we first recorded it at Plaza Sound in New York, which was in the Radio City Music Hall, I think Steve Love was on guitar, Victoria Bettye was on percussion, and my dear friend Leo Damian was on drums as well. There's a double drum thing happening on there. And I remember I had a splitting headache. I was really sick. And he had a new set of Tama drums. And he had these Tama drums because he loved the way Stuart Copeland's drums sounded. So he went and bought a set of Tama drums.
Nice.
And the other drums in the studio were just the studio drums, and they weren't very good.
Yeah.
And so Leo said, play my drums, and he'd play the other drums. And so I did. And the lyrics were completely different. The lyrics were people need other people. People need other people. And it was like, hippie lyrics. And I didn't think anything of it. And then like a year and a half later, I hear this song. And I go, that sounds familiar. What is that? Oh my God, that's the track. That's the thing.
That's me.
Yeah. And then he rewrote the song, and next thing you know, it's #1, and it's like really weird. So that was the first #1 record I ever played on.
Unreal.
It's crazy.
There's something you may not have known.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, we'll let you take it away. Thanks to all of you for hanging out with us, and we'll see you again soon.
I was tired of my lady. We'd been together too long. Like a worn-out recording of a favorite song. was this letter I read. If you like piña coladas and getting caught in the rain, if you're not into yoga, if you have half a brain, if you like making love at midnight in the dunes on the Cape, then I'm the love that you've looked for. Write to me and escape. I didn't think about my lady. I know that sounds kind of mean, but me and my old lady have fallen into the same old routine. So I wrote to the paper, took out a personal ad, and though I'm nobody's poet, I thought it wasn't half bad. Yes, I like piña coladas and getting caught in the rain. I'm not much into health food. I am into champagne. I've got to meet you by tomorrow noon and cut through all this red tape at a bar called O'Malley's, where we'll plan our escape. So I waited with high hopes, and she walked in the place. I knew her smile in an instant. I knew the curve of her face. It was my own lovely lady, and she said, "Oh, it's you." Then we laughed for a moment, and I said, "I never knew that you like